So philosophy time, exercise testing philosophy time. I want to talk to you today about what I've been doing for the last 2 weeks. Kettlebell swings are great if you do them correctly. Kettlebell swings can be terrible if you do them in a way that's going to injure yourself. Kettlebell swings and most things meant to be used with a kettlebell, most exercise meant to be performed with a kettlebell, are for higher repetitions. And that is why I think a lot of people think that you can't build muscle mass with it, with a kettlebell as a tool. And I just think it's silly. People say, well, there's momentum at certain points of the lift, and there's momentum at certain points of Olympic lifting. The difference is kettlebells have a wonderful transitional tension. I like to talk about that a lot. Transitional tension. So to me, transitional tension is transitioning when you need to be tense. If a kettlebell weighs 200 pounds, if a barbell weighs 200 pounds, and you're going to use it in certain things, now are we deadlifting a kettlebell off the ground? No, we're applying a lot more force to it to actually get it up and weightless, to swing. So you may be putting more force. That's the thing. If you have heavier kettlebells, you don't think that you're going to build more mass? You're going to build more strength? Usually when you build more strength, a little bit more mass comes with it if you're eating to build. So another thing for people think is kettlebells are just for cardio. Not true. They're incredibly versatile. What I've tried though, I love kettlebell swings, and I got away from doing two-handed kettlebell swings, whether it's a fluid style, a hard style, whatever style you call it. I like moving that weight. I like hip extension. It doesn't have to be violent. It can be smooth, but I'm still moving that weight. Here's the thing. I got away from kettlebell swings when I started doing a whole lot of kettlebell sport. When I was doing double kettlebell cleans, long cycle, into clean and jerk, I stopped doing two-handed swings for a very, very long time. I would just rather focus on specificity. I'll say that again, but I'm not going to. Anyway, I started doing one-hand swings, and they're very, very different. We'll get into that later. Back to two-hand swings. I had got away from doing two-hand swings just because there were so many other things. I'm back. And what I thought was, I am going to take the 48 kilogram kettlebell. I don't need to show off and do a whole lot more, but the whole point was to find a pretty heavy, or some moderately heavy, or some insanely heavy weight, and pick a rep range and do it. Now, I didn't choose to pick 10. I chose 50. 50 in a row without setting it down, and I was going to see what it did. I felt good. I hadn't done it in a long time. I moved 50 times, 106 pounds, kettlebell swing, and my traps were on fire. My glutes were on fire. My glute medius, just everything on fire, hamstrings smoked. Then came the next day, and I said, I think I'm going to do that again. I did it after workout. I was like, oh, that was kind of fun. So in my mind right there, I said, I think I'm going to do this as many days in a row as I can, barring the fact of getting injured, okay? So even on days where my heart rate variability tells me to not train really hard, and I feel I can do this because it takes me a minute and 15 seconds to swing this thing back there. There it is. There. Just a 48 kilogram old kettlebell. Doesn't get used for much except sitting around and me swinging it now. So I've done that now. This will be the 15th day, okay? Because it's been 2 weeks and the start of another week. It started to get, imagine this, easier. I'm adapting to it. Now at the point where I'm not adding reps yet, I'm just seeing how far I can go. This is 1 minute of getting my heart rate up pretty high, working on grip strength, working on endurance, working on focus, 50 reps is very different than 5. When your form starts degrading, there's your chances of injury. So anyway, kettlebell is wonderful. Yes, I've also noticed some little bit of a change in body composition. Imagine that. 50 times 106. It's a good amount of weight moved. The whole body. Like I said, yes, I'm not, people think you're not shrugging. There's not this disjointed take away breakdown of the body into movements. It's into little isolated movements. Everything's working at once. My traps have gotten larger. My shoulders have gotten larger. My arms have gotten more pumped up. Now here's the thing. I don't think I'm putting a whole lot of muscle mass on in 2 weeks, but what I am doing is utilizing the food that I've been taking in a little bit better all around my body. I add this no matter what. If I do GVT 10 sets of 10 squats to the barbell, I will still do this at sometimes the beginning, sometimes the end. I know my limitations. It's beauty about understanding yourself and testing out things and not doing just what other people tell you to do or what some book says is exactly. You know, all science and all tests start somewhere. It starts with someone's brain. And I don't like to get injured. So the whole point was to do this as much as I could, as often as I could. I'm starting with once a day. As often as I could. It takes a minute and 15 seconds without getting hurt. If I feel like I'm starting to have anything that could be a deleterious effect on my body, on my hips, on my hamstrings, on my spine, on my shoulder, on my neck, I'm done. Like I said, I'm just to see how long I can do this. So far it's been 2 weeks. I've noticed some really, really good things. I've noticed I picked up a behind the back deadlift the other day, and I never really did that over 225 pounds or so. I did 405. I felt like I could do it. Anyway, these things keep popping up because I'm doing something that I have never done before. Yes, I've done a lot of kettlebell swings, and yes, I've done 10,000 kettlebell swings in a month. This is very, very different. This doesn't take so much time. This takes literally a minute and 15 seconds. Anyway, I'm going to do it, and you could watch or not, and it doesn't matter. This is for me. This is something that I've been doing, and I'm going to keep it up until it tells me no. So my philosophy is find something that you can do over and over that is going to produce the effects that you want to, whether it's squat every day, some way, some fashion. Like I said, this isn't the heaviest thing I could swing. I could definitely pick up 2 28s and double swing them. It's going to be heavier than the 106. Anyway, going to do it, and you're going to probably say, well, that's not crazy hip extension. Doesn't matter. It's what I'm doing. So here, get all the junk out of my pockets. There you go. Didn't take that long. Heart rate's up there. What also I've noticed, not just building strength and endurance, but monitoring the heart and its effect, this weight, its effect on my heart. It was getting up towards the high 160s. The other day, I did it. 154. So, by 1 minute a day conditioning, I've been able to lower my heart rate during that activity. This activity will transfer into a lot of other things. Drop down a good amount of beats per minute in the time that I've done it before. Pretty awesome to me to see changes that drastic in my training age. But that definitely could be better form, getting more efficient, and all those things are good. I'm also getting more efficient at swinging a 106-pound kettlebell 50 times every day. So there, might be something you want to try. Start light, even if it's 35 pounds, but those last 10 reps should be pretty tough. All right, 50 swings a day, as long as you can, without getting injured. Joe, swing this out.